with MakingStarWars.net.
Konnichiwa, I am Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and today I am joined by Rob.
You got 10 minutes to do the show, and it's over.
Wait, I promised that one dude that the first 10 minutes we would get the info out. Well, let me tell you about this delicious cup of Joe. It tastes like it needs sugar, but I don't drink sugar in my...
Tastes like Manscaped. Speaking of Manscaped now.
Yeah.
Nice segue.
Right. Yeah. Are your balls like Obi-Wan Kenobi's face after he's been living on Tatooine for 10 years in a cave? Let me tell you about Manscaped. I'm ready, Manscaped. Hey, us.
Are you growing a dyad down under?
Is that when it just like gets all anyways? Yeah, Max may be joining us today. I sent her the link, but I'm not sure when she'll be here. So when she gets here because she's Max. She's usually fashionably late. But yeah, we'll get into the article today. And today is a members only chat. It's like a members only jacket for the internet, but it gives me money and it supports the show, and I appreciate it a lot. And it allows you to have the one-on-one chat with us today on a day when we have a spoiler article. And also, it'll let you get some attention from Max. Hey, Max.
Hey, guys.
Happy birthday, Max. Happy belated.
Thank you. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, yeah, you sound great.
So Max and them celebrated like at 9:30. And I didn't know that. I would have told you, like, I sleep like between 8 and 9 now. So I'm up at like 3 or 4 a.m. So.
That was Johnny getting that.
Right, just so you all know, I appreciate your birthday. I'm at Toys R Us. I was out getting you something. They won't let me in. It's like they're not open.
All right. So this is the article today. It is a rumor, and this rumor comes along the same avenue as our recent trailer rumor. Recently, we had heard with empirical evidence that a Kenobi trailer will be here on the 9th. And Chris became a channel member, which feels weird because I feel like he's part of the family. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so we had this rumor that it's going to be on the 9th. And with that rumor, yeah, you heard that rumor, right? You know that rumor, right, Max?
Yeah. Instead of my birthday, it's my brother's birthday now.
Oh, nice.
If that's true, on the 9th.
All the other sites,
brother. He's
all the other sites were reporting it, Jason. You know, I mean,
yeah,
not that they mentioned this site, but you know.
Oh, were they not mentioning it? They were just lifting it.
I don't read anyone else. I'm just trying to start something.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, let's fucking start something today. You know what I mean? Who do we want to fight with? Let's fight with someone.
All right. Who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Max? Max, I think me and Max could be like we could do like a Batman and a Robin thing. Like I'll like push Max off my shoulder, like launch like a cannonball. Okay. So I'm gonna go over to the article so I could actually see it. All right. So rumor: Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and how it begins. And look, here's a video you could watch right now that you're watching. It's Inception. So I first heard this rumor after a Disney lot screening of various footage of various projects in the works for Disney Plus. Without going into too much detail and compromising a source, I find the information fascinating, and I think you might as well. The rumor pertains to how Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi will begin, so if you're not into potential spoilers, this article is not for you. So the story, as I heard it, goes a bit
Hold
like
on,
this.
I gotta close the show out. Hold on.
Bye. Bye, loser who's afraid of the truth. Afraid to know the truth in 2022. Oh, sorry, dude. You know, I had a lot of coffee. All right. So there was a bunch of footage shown in Burbank recently, and in that footage is what appears to be the Jedi Temple from the prequel trilogy. Clone troopers are attacking 2 young Padawan learners who are being protected by 2 Jedi Masters. The 2 Jedi seem to be in their late teens to early 20s. The 2 Padawan learners look on as their masters are killed. The masters die to allow their students to live. and the pair escape the massacre as they fight their way out of the temple to freedom. So it is the opening. After the presentation, my source asked someone in the know what the deal was with the Star Wars footage, and the person in the know responded that that's the first. What? What is that noise? Stop talking here. All right, responded that the first scene that's the first scene from the new Kenobi series. They are very pleased with it, and they expect it to be a hit. So they confirmed that it's the first scene. The source confirmed it was not the moment of the Jedi Temple we saw in the Book of Boba Fett at all. I sent them a link to it, and I was like, hey, is it this? Can you just confirm it's not? It's not. But they did say the scene could nearly fit. They could nearly fit together, though. I asked if Grogu was in the sequence, and they said if they were, it wasn't obvious. So I'm going to go with probably not, because I think that's where the conversation was going to drift to. Is Grogu in that moment? And oh, by the way, and I after I heard this rumor, I tossed it over to some of my friends over at Manhattan Beach, and I got yep. I didn't get anything more, unfortunately. I wish I did. It would have been an article if I had, but I got yep. Yep. So the rumor once again has legs. Gonna tie this into the trailer rumor stuff. That to me, it's another checkbox, and the person who told us that rumor is likely legit as fuck. Okay. And then I wanted to hit on this. Recently, a picture that's been floating around of what appears to be Tamara Morrison in Clone Trooper in a Clone Trooper body glove and boots. This may explain that appearance by the Boba Fett actor, as there is some drama with the clones in those moments too. I'm not positive. Like I got almost the impression that some of the clone troopers don't want to kill these kids, and he may take his mask off in that moment, and maybe that's why Tamara Morrison was used. That's speculation, and I think I made it clear in the article, but you know how people get. So there you have it. The question I'm left with is who are the Jedi in those moments? Who are the two Padawan? Does one become an Inquisitor? And does one search out for Obi-Wan Kenobi in the aftermath of Order 66?
I don't want to kill the kids. I want to treat them with respect. Whoa, it ties.
Yeah, I have this idea. It's like I don't kill kids, but I kill them with respect. You know what I mean? Like I don't talk down to them. I just completely am like I get down on one knee. I turn my chair around and I like sit on it like that. And I'm like, hey, what's life like for you? I mean, that could happen.
And he beats the shit out of that.
But
just like Dad did to me, you know.
Just like Dad.
Sins of the father.
Dex's decaf. I am not on today. Talking Sith. I had a busy morning, so I had to get my booty in gear, and I could not have coffee. So
you were the booty call.
Yeah, it was the booty call. I was like, hello. Yeah. I want to rule with respect. Can we do a TV show about that? But yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So if this is the opening, this opening is in a lot of ways contextualizing the series. It's not assuming you've seen Revenge of the Sith or that you've seen it in the last couple of years, even necessarily. So we have two kids, two masters. The masters sacrifice themselves somehow. I'm guessing they just hold the clone troopers at bay, and then the kids are able to continue their journey out. Maybe somebody like Bail Organa shows up in one of those red speeders and like, get in, you know? I don't know. But something like that must happen because they do escape. And
the old Solo boys show up in the right, like the Millennium Falcon, right?
It's like jump in mid. We didn't know how they were going to get out of that Jedi temple because those Jedi kids got themselves in some serious trouble this time. Yeah. Where I'm going with this is, what do I don't know. So I'm going to ask you guys, we have these two Jedi, former Jedi, I guess we could call them both former Jedi. One named Nari, who is searching for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Reva, who becomes the third sister, becomes an Inquisitor, is turned to evil. goes down the dark path.
Evilly.
What do you guys think the odds are these 2 Jedi are those kids? I mean, it would make a lot of sense in terms of narrative. And let's also remember that this is not from the creators of the Book of Boba Fett. So it's not just things for the fun of it.
They won't just.
I mean, like, I guess like a way to show how that would happen, like in live action, versus, hearing about it. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
I mean, it would show how 2 kids are in this massacre. They escape, and the 2 different paths that if they both take. And
would we feel anything for them? You think?
I think so.
A little bit.
I mean, look at. I mean, we know obviously these are bigger spoilers, but we know what happens to Nari. Nari goes out looking for Kenobi, finally finds him, brings a whole world of trouble to Kenobi, and then is strung up dead at the end of it out in the desert. Kenobi is walking to the spaceport, I'm going to go get Princess Leia. I wonder what she's up to. And then he sees Nari. And so we know that happens. And in a weird way, we may know that if Reva made that choice, her choice may not be that dumb for Reva.
Forever?
Kind of a candy ass.
Forever?
Reva forever. That's stupid.
Forever, ever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kenobi. I am dead for real. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think, Rob? Do you think it's the same characters? Do you think it's them? You think we're getting the backstory?
It has to be. This is, like, it's just screenwriting 101. Like I said, I'm glad you preface it's not being written by old Favreau, who would just be like, nope, gonna put in brand new ones, So
yeah,
because everyone would be spending the whole series going, what happened to them? Where's the other 2? What's the that kind of shit. So
yeah,
one would hope.
Yeah, because it does. Like I said, it opens up a lot of backstory, and it does. I mean, I keep wondering about Reva if she is this character, and I have a lot of questions about this scene that I don't have answers, that I wasn't able to get the answers to. Unfortunately, the conversation didn't go there, and when I asked for some clarification, I haven't received it yet. But I mean, like, because for instance, if both of these actors are dark-skinned or African-American, for instance, then we know it's likely Reva, and that Nari is likely to be O'Shea Jackson, but we don't know. And so it's one of those things where when I heard this rumor, I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. So I didn't think to ask this question. And then after we have these mysteries going around now, it's like, oh, well, was that it? I wish, hindsight's 2020. If I could reconduct that brief interview again, I would love to do it with some of those questions.
It's case only for Reva to murder him like 5 years later.
Yeah. I mean, it would be, it would show how ruthless she's become, what
what it's like
is doing to those people.
It's like when you go to Tom Sawyer's Island at Disneyland, you make those friends on the island that you have adventures with for like 5 minutes before their parents take them away. And then 7 years later, they murder you. Like, leave you strung up for dead.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
I know it would be pretty rad to be there, like, as Armageddon happens, and like all of a sudden it just goes like full on Lord of the Flies out there on Tom Sawyer's Island. Become the king of the island. It'd be great. I'd rule it. Not with respect either, with fear.
Yeah, I understand. I get why you would do that.
Yeah. Welcome to the cult, Chris. Welcome to the cult.
Oh,
by the way,
welcome to the cult,
channel member. What was that, Max?
Did you see what Jason Pemberfoot typed?
Not yet.
Yeah, well,
I saw Good Morning to fellow Star Wars fans, which what a nice guy, just a nice guy, just a real nice guy. Likes the spaceships and the UFOs. Mark Hamilton says that Toys R Us Jeffrey has the same snarky face as Rob. Look at you guys, both looking at each other with that snarky face.
And you miss us both once we're gone. Trust me. Yeah.
And chat, I want to know what your predictions are here too. Like would they start the series with just 2 Jedi? Okay, let's go with the model number 2. It's not that. Would they start the series with just 2 kids and 2 Jedi Masters? Jedi Masters save the kids. Jedi Masters die. Kids escape. They don't pertain, but we see that shit was happening. Jedi were getting out. There are more Jedi out there that we don't know about, and because at the same time, the Jedi Hunters, the Inquisitors, they got jobs for a reason. They don't exist if there aren't Jedi to go find. I don't think they're just like hanging out, in some podunk town with the big Eric Cartman glasses with the reflection, just nothing to do, waiting for somebody to act like they're a Jedi so they could bully them around. There has to be, fish to catch, or they don't exist. The program just wouldn't be a thing, And I guess you could justify its funding through the Empire by the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi was never found, and until Kenobi's caught, you could justify that it would be needed. But I don't know. It's kind of a stretch. I gotta think of something's there in a story. Larger story has to have something to do. It has to have some function where it can actually function, right? So that could be the case. So I just want to throw that out there too, because sometimes you do a story or you do a show like this, and then people remember one thing you said and not the rest, not all the caveats of but I don't know. They're just like, I've heard our friend Johnny supposedly was the one who made the "my baby girl" jokes, and at least he says that he made the first "my baby girl" jokes, which was a thing that about what Luke Skywalker was supposed to say when he finally sees Rey. They're like, what does he say? And then he says that joke, and then it turned into a rumor. And it's like, people say I said that. If I had received that scene, I would have been like, I'm not reporting this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with getting yelled at about this one. I don't. And well, this has to be a trick. That's what I would have thought. This is a trick. This is some kind of trick. It's ADR foolery, and there's no way he says that. That's what I would have thought. But yeah. So anyways, Dale says it'd be cool to see all the scenes combined from Revenge of the Sith, the Clone Wars 7, Kenobi, and Grogu's rescue. Yeah, that's kind of something that I've where my mind has been on this one is the source of this information says it looks a lot like the Grogu rescue, but they're like, it's not that. Like, they're like, trust me, this isn't the same thing. They would know.
It's so weird, that isn't being like lined up though, right? Like, it's just like, again, it just feels like this is a studio that's stuck in 1995,
Mm-hmm.
like, right down the street, they got a studio that part of your crew that like lines all this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
They got a continuity person.
What isn't lining up for you? Because
I'm just saying, like, if you go out of your way to show a flashback sequence through Grogu's eyes, and then the very next series you start with the flashback sequence in the same temple, but it's a completely different thing, people will get confused in the same way that The Force Awakens features a young British girl who doesn't know her parents, and then the next movie you do is Rogue One features a British girl.
Yeah.
And even though she dies, lots of people, man, they feel like, oh, that Rey's mom. Like, it's just,
but I mean, hot British orphans. Who doesn't love them?
I get it, Jason, but that's not how audiences think, bro. Like this is not how they do business. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be, if it isn't, and I agree with you, it most likely is not. We're gonna be hearing about this for like a year or two, dude. It's gonna keep going. I think it could be, but it should be.
What if we do, and then this is conjecture, but what if we do end up having these two kids make it out? And what if Grogu gets the ride with them? What if, you know what I mean? Because we don't see Grogu's entire journey. So what if these kids end up in Grogu's possession, or in possession of Grogu? And then what if what if they get caught and Nari makes it out, doesn't have to become an Inquisitor, and then she is forced into the Inquisitorius program or whatever it's called, and Grogu is sent to the lab on Wayland. You know what I'm saying? Because that would make sense, or it could make sense. It's all possible. What if we end up seeing what if these various shows end up making a larger story that we only get when you only get when you watch all of the shows about this various escape from the temple or something? I don't know. Just
I'm all for that. I've yet to see them, you know what I mean, execute like they're planning all that together, you know?
Yeah.
Boba Fett changes everything. Prior to Boba Fett, I would be like, yeah, I could see them doing that. Now I'm like, are they even paying attention? Like you could be talking for an hour and then I chime in and I'm like, so what's up with the Kenobi thing? Like,
yeah,
you know, we got some people in the chat love to do that right before we end the cast. 2 hours later. So
yeah,
it's like, all right, you know, then we got to do it again. So
do it again.
I hope so. I'm for it.
Yeah,
people don't know that.
No, me too. I mean, it's when it comes to like I've heard a little bit of criticism, not too much, but it's out there. People who are like, oh, all these Jedi keep living. Before I told everybody that Nari died, like, oh, these Jedi are alive, like, you know, it's a problem. And I was like, oh, don't worry, it ain't gonna go too far for him. But we end up with the possibility of all of these new stories during the dark times because of that. And I think that's actually ultimately a positive. You know, Nari lives 10 years into the dark times. That's a lot of stories that can be told with Nari and other places and other ways if they want to. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, when
at no point
mm-hmm.
did Lucas ever say they all died in one night. Like all the Jedi, you know what I mean? And then it was 20 years of just Darth Vader. Like it was always, the way I always said it was that it took him 20 years to hunt down. And by the time we get to a New Hope, Star Wars, when I was like, when you get to Star Wars and Tarkin goes, you're the last of the religion. It's like, yeah, they finished that. Like could have been last week, you know, but like could have been last month. But that's it. No one was like, you finished that 20 years ago. There, we haven't seen a Jedi here since, you know.
Yeah.
Since,
I can understand how someone might think, you know, oh, that, you know, they never thought that the extent of these other stories could have happened. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've had 20 years though, Max. Like,
yeah, I get it.
To after the Phantom Menace, I mean, you know what it's 20.
Well, there was
for I don't know about you, Max, but for me it feels like yesterday. But it has been 20 years, like,
yeah,
since Lucas has been like, oh, it's not exactly the way you thought it went, sucker. You know, so
well,
like,
and Lucas ended up moving into the perspective that you know there were thousands and thousands of Jedi, and then hundreds did survive.
Hundreds of thousands and millions.
Well, you know, 100 probably. You know, I'll just say, but I mean, it's completely realistic that you know 100 would. If you have thousands and you have this surprise attack, not everybody's gonna get killed in the surprise attack.
Right. Right.
I mean, there was one Jedi who was just like in a porta potty who like looked out and was like, "Oh no shit, huh? I'm just gonna stay in here," you know. And then
Frank Marshall's like, "We did that." Did that joke, Jason?
we have the clone trooper like whose armor is in color and everything else isn't. Like we do that scene. We can try to get all artsy with it. But anyways, yeah. Luke says, "Good revening." No, he didn't mean that. But everyone, it's a rarity. I'm catching a stream and I'm not in the tub. It's not too late to get into the tub. You know what I mean? Get some Calgon going. Let Calgon take you away while we talk about Star Wars. Mm-hmm. You can do that if you want to.
Go ahead. Step in the tub.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Hey,
Now I
Kendall.
have James Brown's hot tub stuck in my head. Thanks.
Back in the day, Rivers Cuomo wrote this song called "Hot Tub" for Tom Jones. It leaked out at one point. It was pretty good. I don't know if Tom Jones ever did it though. Star Wars Santa says, "Oh, and I had to leave Star Wars Santa's stream earlier because my kid's school called. It was nothing. I thought it was like something important, so I'm like, oh, I gotta take this." And then I come back, and then he didn't see me, so I was like, "Oh, I gotta get this article out." So sorry to bolt on you at the end there, Santa. Santa says, "I love the speculation that they're brother or sister who get separated. Sis kills bro and hangs him for public display. Really dark and frightening." Yeah, I mean, because she is like these people in the Empire who have the dark side of the Force. They're buying into some pretty evil, dark stuff. If everyone's like, "Oh, I kind of use the dark side, but I kind of don't," then it doesn't really mean very much at that point. She is full in on it from what it sounds like, but that's also what makes me think she won't be by the end, because you have to have some kind of. Is that the cats?
Yeah.
Is that the kitty cat? The cat's like, "Oh no, I want those Inquisitors dead. I hate those guys."
They knock something over. I don't know.
That's how
Well,
Uncle Owen acts when they asked him about the Inquisitor, about the Jedi.
I said it last week. I was like, the only thing that makes sense to me story wise for a bad guy character to let Leia go would be if that character had also killed her sibling and was looking at her like, you know what I mean? Like that there's I can't let this continue. You know what I mean? Like I gotta.
Yeah. Well, and in full disclosure on that story beat, if you will, I'm not sure if they get that far with Leia. I'm not entirely positive, but in my head right now, like I said, I don't know if Leia is past the third episode. I don't even know if Leia's in the third episode at this point. Like it's like I know she's set up early on. I believe if I have what I've heard correct, the first 2 episodes have Leia, and by the third one, I don't think she's really in it too much, or I think the handoff may happen. She may be passed off.
She died.
And she dies, and then they get a new girl. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna be Leia." She's like, "Okay, I'll do it." But anyways, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, yeah, if you do kill your brother, because you can look at it in 2 ways. They're both kids around the same age in the Jedi Temple. They grow up together. They are kind of, in a weird way, like a family in this orphanage for special kids in a way. So in a way, it is kind of like her brother almost either way you cut it. They were likely those little kids with those little lightsabers going, "Master Skywalker," who when he kills them. They were probably just a few years away from that, had they been a little bit younger, but probably together. So with that in mind, we may have and if the Grogu thing plays out, we could have those kids with Grogu. As you know what I mean, early on too, like they may be special people to Grogu, and when everything hits the fan, which may play into Grogu going into that weird little catatonic kind of state where he's all weird. I don't know. I don't know if he's all weird because of like trauma, or if he's all weird because he was like drugged up by the cloners for all those years.
Anytime you say catatonic, I just think about Wyatt's parents in the closet in Weird Science. Like, catatonic.
Yeah. Also could be like an album by Max about her cats. Catatonic. Yeah, right.
It's what's Salt and Pepper? Catatonic.
Supersonic.
Catatonic.
Supersonic was pretty fucking cool. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I loved it too. Jason says, "I like the idea that more Jedi got out in a way. This facilitates a cool way to tell a shit ton of stories. Honestly,
I agree.
Yeah, it's like I've already like said, like when we imagined Kenobi, we imagined it with the pieces of the puzzle that we knew existed. By putting in a new piece, which is Nari, who shows up on Tatooine looking for Kenobi, it allows for all of these things that didn't make sense to suddenly make sense. Why does Kenobi leave? Why can't he leave? Like, why do they go? How do they find Kenobi? Where, all that kind of stuff.
This is where an anthology show makes the most sense, right? Tales from the Jedi or the Jedi Purge, you know what I mean? Where it's literally a span of 20 years and they all end like what if, right? Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick, for becoming a channel member, dude. Really, really appreciate it. It's the best way to support the show. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we got, so, I mean, we have a lot going on here now in the dark times because of the Kenobi show that we didn't before. I mean, what have we had? We had Star Wars Rebels, which is kind of on the back end of things. And Rebellion hasn't really gone into like full-fledged effect yet. So we know we don't get there. We know there's not going to be some like Jedi uprising necessarily. I mean, I suppose it could happen. You could have a story like that eventually.
More stories from this.
What?
Are we going to want more stories from this?
I hope so. I mean, that's always I feel like a Star Wars project can kind of be considered a failure on one hand. When it doesn't have anywhere else to go, when it doesn't inspire anymore, when it doesn't like open up any new avenues for storytelling. You know what I mean? When you're just like, well, one and done, goodbye. You watch Mandalorian season 1, you're like, what the fuck's going to happen? Where are we going to go now?
I want more.
Yeah. There's like 20 different places, that it could go and things that could happen.
Give me more.
And getting 2 seasons of Andor.
Yeah. No. And I think Andor is going to be like,
it's gonna blow your shit out of your panties.
It's like if you had pantyhose on, they're gonna blow up into like balloons like genie pants with as much shit that's gonna be coming out your ass when you hear what's coming. No, I actually don't know that much about that show, but it definitely sounds cool. And Bespin Bulletin has been rocking the casting stuff on that, by the way. If nobody's been following along, suggest you go over to Bespin Bulletin and check out what he's been doing on that one. And he and I we were talking the other day, and we had this conversation about it. And I won't go into any of that, but I was telling him, and I think he was already at the same place. I'm like, the guiding question for Cassian is why? What is the mission? What are they spying on? What is it that makes, I mean, it could be a show with 20 different spying mysteries, which I don't think it's going to be. I mean, it might have little components here and there. We got to find out this about, but if every episode becomes Star Wars Rebels, like, oh, there's a shipment of guns we got to stop. Gotta go spy on it. Oh, and then we stop the guns. Wow. That's not really what you get Gilroy out of Star Wars retirement for necessarily. I don't think, you know what I mean?
Stun him.
Yeah. But so it makes me think that that there's something bigger at play here. And I want to know what is at play. What is the guiding, like, what is the operation of Cassian? And so hopefully we learn some more about that pretty soon. But right now we don't know. So yeah, and then to go back to what Jason was saying though about Jedi and stuff like that, like Nari, just by, even though he eats it pretty early on in the series, though, he becomes a real possibility that we can do stuff with that character in books and things that would be interesting, because we know what Nari's about a little bit. We know a little bit about his backstory, and that he thinks that when he finds Kenobi, salvation is here. He and Kenobi are going to start this rebellion. They're going to take on the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, no, that's not what we're going to do. That's not going to happen here. And he can't tell Nari any of the plan, but just the stories of survival and what they go through in the aftermath of Order 66 is fascinating onto itself. So Luke says, and I'm going to just imagine Luke's in the bath, and which brings me to our sponsor, Manscape. No, I'm kidding. I think the scene you described needs to happen to inform casual viewers who the Inquisitor, their purpose, and how dangerous they are. Yeah. Also true, because like at that point you're like, why are there, if you haven't watched Rebels, which let's be honest, the majority of the people who are watching the show won't have watched Rebels yet. Yeah, Rob hasn't watched Rebels. So you're gonna be like, why do these guys exist? Well, they're supposed to be these Sith, you know? What about the Sith? You know, honestly, I feel like in a lot of ways in the general story though of things, even with that Darth Vader comic, Darth Vader just kind of goes into retirement. Like he kind of like, well, I peaked early. I don't really have anything to do now, but I'm pretty mad about stuff. I kind of don't know why Darth Vader isn't primarily doing this Inquisitor job. Like that's what we used to imagine was Vader's job. What is Vader? We always thought he was hunting down the Jedi and killing them off. And he hates those guys because Mace Windu made him look at a cup, a ship, and a speeder, and then didn't believe in him.
Stupid.
I mean, he said he got it right. A ship, a cup, and a speeder, and you don't believe in him? Come on, Mace Windu, you asshole. But yeah, but totally. I mean, we see the kids getting away. We know why the Inquisitors have a job. We know why their program exists, what they're doing, and what they're about. And then I am speculating we're going to see them finally find Kenobi and then finally get onto something that they can't handle, and then that's why Darth Vader does come out of his semi-retirement. I guess he's playing space golf all day or something. Like what does that guy do? You know, all day. Baths? Just taking bath salts?
Tending to my line of Vader Castle resorts coming to a galaxy near you.
Mars Alago. Okay, Mark Hamilton says, did the Inquisitors have Twitter accounts to cancel Jedi?
It's Mustalago.
Mustalago? Yeah. I like it. Mustalago. Yeah, that's right. The Inquisitors. Oh, man. Yeah. I was thinking about it the other day. I was watching some people shit talk me about things that they don't have any clue about. And I was like, you know, these people think that they're like the HR for internet. I was like, you idiots. Right? You're not the HR for the internet. I'm sorry. You fucking assholes. Star Wars Center says,
I'm gonna write a memo to Snowden. Yeah, he's the guy. He's running everything.
Yeah. Yeah, God, he would be like, oh no, actually, you're making all the shit up. Look, here's all the chats.
Dear Russia, to Snowden, please stop the wards from being too damn cool and a dick at the same time.
for not putting up with my bullshit all the time. Okay. Star Wars Sender says, I can't wait for them to put the trailer behind the paywall on Wednesday, so only investors invited to the party get to see it. Laugh out loud. This is a Star Wars Santa fear, and I don't buy it, Santa. I don't think they would do that because
I fear capitalism. Oh no!
Oh yeah, I have that video.
What's happening to Santa?
Rob, remind me to put the clip onto the thing so we can play it all the time of him liking Marx, because I made that for a reason. Okay.
I mean, I put the good toys behind a paywall of being good.
Yeah, but no, what I told Santa earlier on his show is I was like, Santa baby, sit down. Look me in the eyes right here. And I said, Santa, when they put stuff behind that investor paywall, so to speak, before, the Kenobi show was very, very far away. I was like over a year away at that point. And now here we are. We're like 2.5 months out. I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they would. I think that in doing the trailer with the investors at this time, if this rumor pans out, which I'm betting it will, but if it does pan out, I am going to go with it has to be to get the general audience excited, because they need to see the general audience being excited to know that they should keep their money with Disney. And if I was writing a really, really bad article, I'd be like, with the House of Mouse. God, I fucking hate that so much.
What?
What's going? I was almost gonna do this really sarcastic intro to my article today. I was like, rumors from the House of Mouse, Star Wars is back, all that bullshit, like all every cliche at once. But I was like, nah, I don't have time for that. But Joel says Jason has to type hot British orphans. Oh, that's gonna be on Twitter now. Misrepresented. Yeah, the adult type for the record.
The adults, yeah.
The adult type, yeah. Johanna says, any updates on the trailer? Oh, I think I just maybe kind of gave one. I don't know if it was an update, but we touched on it. But nothing furthering yet. Nothing, no more confirmations or anything like that have come through. Other than the fact that I'm hearing this is the opening, and my sources at Manhattan Beach say, yeah. My sources at Manhattan Beach also say they keep all getting like hearing about they're keeping in these stern talking tos, because of leaks and stuff like that. And it's pretty funny because the more that they treat them like shitheads, the more they start leaking. That's the funny part about it. The more you tighten your grasp, Lord Vader, the more it slips through your fingers. That's how
it's as if the people running this movie never fucking saw it, Do you not watch these fucking movies? Like,
apparently not.
I get when you're like David Prowse going on stage at Comic-Con. We don't want our lead actors telling all the fans, come to my panel or I'll give away the whole movie. I understand that. But it's like, you tell your crew don't do it and then you move on because the amount of people that hear this is so minute, like, yeah. When I get my hair cut at the barber shop, the barber, my buddy, they're normal folks, right? They're like, all the stuff you guys put up, he doesn't even know they're making an Indiana Jones movie, and that shit's done. Like, like that is the real fan. Like they're just cracking down on folks that are like, man, I gotta get here at 5 a.m. I don't need to hear this shit, Like,
yeah.
This is a you problem, not a me problem, Kathy.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's kind of funny is when they go around and they like shake him down, then they're like, yeah, I don't like it when they do that to me. So, hey, here you go. You're right. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Darth Del Rio says, as much as I like these stories hopping around in the timeline, I do think it would be best for the general audience to pick a time and move forward. That I'm kind of curious if that's what we're getting with the future films. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like, we've heard indications that Rogue Squadron is after Episode 9, and it's about being a fighter pilot in that era. But when we see Taika Waititi's movie have that Ben-Hur look, we start looking. We start going, ancient Star Wars movie. But it may just be gladiators, and gladiators in a gladiatorial arena, like that pretty much is going to fit into any era of Star Wars. While you could have more civilized times, all I got to say is this world isn't civilized. This world is bad. And then now you have that story. So there is a chance that we could see the next range of films all being connected in the same timeline. What if Feige's Star Wars movie is the start of something more like the Mando universe, but for that era? I mean, we just don't know. So, I do think it could be wise to do something like that, because you do feel like you watch something and then you feel like, oh, maybe it doesn't matter. Like if you went and saw Solo, a Star Wars story, and you really loved it, well, none of it really connects to anything else at this time or anytime soon. So it's just kind of like a story where you tread water in terms of being able to follow along. And if it's just a movie, that's fine, but you need people invested in what's next, because that's capitalism, baby.
So is he saying like just start with the forward thing and then just go and like leave everything else?
Just like try and stick to like one timeline, like overall, but we also know that they're not, because we have like 2 High Republic series coming that it will be parallel to the Mandalorian's stories.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you,
it is kind of fun. No, it's I think to me it's kind of fun to dabble in the different eras. I mean, obviously you have to keep up with with which era you're in, but
right.
You okay, Rob?
Yeah, I'm working. So
He's squinting. That was his drawing squint, not his Max.
Yeah, when I need to correct perspective is a trick you can do. Don't use two eyes. Use one eye.
Okay. Sorry.
So because it will flatten things out, you can actually correct.
That's the
so when you see me doing that,
okay.
Yeah. So I talked to my optometrist about this years ago. They're like, "No, it's fine. You're not gonna kill your eyes." Anyhow, what was I gonna say? Damn it! Oh, I'm interested to know if they've ever done like surveys to see if this confuses the mass audiences, because there's amongst the film pundits, they believe the multiverse confuses audiences, and I don't think it does, as long as the story clearly fucking explains it.
The multiverse
that's
Marvel?
For like the comic book movies. Okay, so the fact that Star Wars is jumping timelines, I think the only thing that's confusing is when you jump a timeline and you don't say at the very beginning where this takes place when this takes place.
Yeah.
I think that's why Rogue One was confusing, because they did away with the opening, which I'm for actually, but I can then in hindsight say, oh yeah, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
I could see how they wouldn't understand.
Well, how do you think they're going to do that on this one? If we start on the flashback, you know what I mean, of Order 66, do you think they'll tell us, 10 BBY or whatever? I don't know. I'm
10 BBW. Hey.
Casual Star Wars.
All right. 10 BBWs walk into a Star Wars bar. And
a new robot or new droid?
I know that. I know how that story ends, Jason.
Oh, okay. Star Wars Santa says the Mike Porter dad joke. What brand of cleaner does a Mandalorian use? Armor and Hammer. Yeah, that's my boy. He did it again. He's back. Catatonic. Is that tonic for cats?
Yes.
Mark Hamilton says he's weird because he's playing everyone and Palps is Grogu's bitch. You talking about Rob? Patrick says, damn, they don't make it easy to give you money on here from Ireland. Sorry about that, Patrick. But thank you for becoming a channel member. I really do appreciate it, man. Mark Hamilton says Caravan of Courage was so brilliant. We got the Battle for Endor. Yeah, I mean it was a big deal when it came on. It was, and it did well when it came on, and it's only in retro. I mean, but it's still a TV movie from 1984. I mean that's the main reason why it doesn't hold up, because how many TV movies from 1984 do?
I was a giant Star Wars fan in 1984. I gotta tell you, I was just thinking about A-Team at the time.
A-Team?
V, A-Team, V. Caravan of Courage was not on that list. And I was the mark. I don't understand. It just didn't resonate.
Patrick says, I'd love to see more Mando Krennic somewhere in the future. Oh, Mendo Krennic in the future. Yeah, me too. Krennic, I mean, he while he dies in that moment, he's somebody who would just be fantastic to see through all of these shows, because I mean I love the concept of the character, in that he's like, he's the Imperial who went to community college and then went and got his degree and then became, a science and on the science officer program, whatever the hell it's called. And that kind of stuff. Whereas like somebody like Tarkin, it comes from a pedigree, you know what I mean? It has this like posh past or whatever. And so it's kind of cool to see somebody who's just sort of hungry for success and then willing to do the wrong things, like Krennic is the kind of guy who would make it on Wall Street. You know what I mean? Who wasn't born on Wall Street, That
character could be dropped in Wolf of Wall Street like effortlessly,
Yeah, yeah. No, and he's really fascinating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him. I mean, I would probably realistically, if they got Tarkin down 100% perfect in the future, I would still probably rather see Krennic than Tarkin. Not that I don't want to see Tarkin, but if I had to pick, Krennic is just a more fascinating villain.
They might do it just for a little, like maybe a short period of time. Like, let's show you what we can really do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because look at how they already have everything from Tarkin that they built for the CGI version.
Mm-hmm.
And they may be able to take that and using the deep fake, combining that with the deep fake stuff to make a really good Tarkin now.
Yeah.
I believe Shamuk, who did the good Luke, also did a better Tarkin as well. I'm pretty damn sure that was him who did it from memory, though. So Mark Hamilton says, why have we never got a lamb-headed alien in Star Wars yet? Did you just watch Lamb?
Too real.
If you let James in charge of everything, his Guillermo del Toro Qui Gon series will certainly give that to you.
Yeah. Well, that's
look, I love Guillermo del Toro. He's not. It's not a Qui Gon thing. That guy. Like, you can imagine Crimson Peak. Like Qui Gon lives in the most morose, drab fucking version of the temple. There, it's just not the guy. What are you thinking? Like I get a Sith series. I get maybe a new trilogy featuring, another era. I get the Jabba the Palace. Qui-Gon Jinn and Guillermo del Toro, it's like hot mustard and Oreos. You can do it.
But have you ever had it
really
with weed, man? It might work. It might work. I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It might. Tibor says, Tibor like Tebow. That's what I said. Yeah. I'm late again, but I just realized that the intro of the MSW show is higher quality Star Wars content than anything on the official Star Wars YouTube channel these days. That George Blast sound is priceless. Oh, thank you. I mean, not I don't want to trash talk them. I'm sure they're doing their best. Mark Hamilton says, so
why is the show got to be 3 hours, Jason? Why is it got to be 3 hours long? I was going to watch 2.5 hours, but I'm not doing 3 hours, man. Not even the Batman gets that from me. You're not watching none of it.
By the way, I went and saw Batman again over the weekend. My kids were with their mom, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to go and grab lunch and just go see Batman by myself. That way I can just make sure, just enjoy it without having to take care of children and stuff. Mm-hmm. I had to take them to the restroom twice, and stuff like that. I was like, I'm just going to do it. So I went and did it. And loved it, still love it, but on my second viewing, the ending was more tedious than the first time, and I do think it has the Indiana Jones problem of stuff all comes together, but Indiana Jones doesn't necessarily have anything to do in it but experience it, and it's kind of what he does. And it's still really good though, and I still really really did like it. But the one thing I was telling Rob that I noticed, by the way, is when they handcuff Penguin. And then they leave him there. He starts waddling because he wants to get out, and it's made me laugh. It just made me laugh because he looks like the Penguin with his hands cuffed and everything. So it's kind of funny.
Stuff to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it when it comes out on DVD or on cable.
Yeah, it's a pretty good. I mean, Batman. If you're not into Batman, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie though, even if it wasn't a Batman, kind of film. Yeah, I think you might like it.
I just didn't even know it came out.
But Mark Hamilton says, so basically Vader is Tony Gilroy. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Joel Williams up the words, but not the war. Mark Hamilton says, I'll get to work on a MSW rumors from the House of Mouse graphics straight away. Yeah, let's do that every single time. Let's just lean into it all. And Star Wars is back can also be in there somewhere. Mark Hamilton says, we live in a minuscule goldfish bowl of assholes who need daily fixes of scoops and rumors just to get by. Normies don't give a fuck for the most part. Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's one of those things where you have all these rumors and you know, when my site was at like running at maximum, you know, which when everything was running at maximum was TFA. TFA was nothing will ever probably be as big as the TFA era. And you know, even then, you know, you get a couple 100,000 hits on a really huge story. And that was where it kind of capped out at. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and those people might tell their friends, they might tell other people, but when you get down to it, there's like all this clamping down over 200, maybe 200,000 people, what they might know. It's not really that important, at least in my opinion. But Dell says, use 2 eyes. Never would have thought of that. The lambs were led to the slaughter before KOTOR. I went to go buy Lamb over the weekend, actually, the movie. I wanted to watch it again. And they don't sell it in 4K. I don't get that. I bought Green Knight in 4K. Why can't I buy Lamb in 4K? Makes no sense to me. But Joel said, I just got a custom Sindel Tawani action figure from the Czech Republic. So Caravan of Courage definitely made an impact. Dude, hey, when I was in kindergarten, Sindel was my girl. All right. I was like, me and Sindel and the stars. That's the future. That's what I thought.
I think I watched
somebody's up.
I watched that on Disney Plus when they released those 2 movies, right?
Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Star Cruiser.
Somebody's out there going on the Galactic Starship, but like, so what? You know?
Oh man. I want somebody to go on it and then write a negative review because there was no Sindel Tawani representation on it. You know? I mean, was Sindel conceived here? We all want to know. We know little baby Han Solo was. Or Kylo Ren. So James says, I'll send you my story treatment, Rob.
I don't care about your story. It's just the wrong fit for the tone of the whole fucking thing. Make no sense.
Wait, what? Sindel?
James is talking about the Qui Gon Guillermo del Toro thing.
Oh, right. Oh, is that what you guys are talking about? I know there was something about. I don't dislike Del Toro, but I've never seen something from him where I was like, that guy should make something from Star Wars. I don't see it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I just haven't actually ever been convinced that he makes that kind of content that resonates there. You know, cool monsters and stuff. I like that hand thing. You know, whatever that thing was, and Pan's Labyrinth or whatever. That was pretty fun. But
20 years ago.
Was it 20 years ago? 20 years ago now? Yeah. Yeah, I saw Mama in the theater. That shit sucked. To be honest with you, it sucked. It wasn't that good. It could have been really good, but it wasn't that good. Mark Hamilton says we got Jackson, a fucking rabbit head alien. Come on, Disney, give us lamb-headed scoundrel flying a Corvette. You know, I want him to show up, and he sees these clone troopers. There's like 4 or 5 of them with a little girl, and he goes, "It's the Bad Batch." Come on. That'd be great, right? That'd be great. Come on. Mark Hamilton knows. It was the Mike Porter dad joke. It infected the show. You know, blame Star Wars Santa. If you're going to blame anybody, blame Star Wars Santa.
I think I'm going to watch Rebels today.
Have you watched it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like that show, though.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I just watched season 1 again. So yeah, if you feel like maybe
better, but
for sure. Yeah.
And I
season
think
3 is when it gets better. I feel like.
Yeah, that's good. The only I thought this was like the first animated series that I cried over, but I think it was actually the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
When she left the Order.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I cried, and I felt stupid.
You felt stupid crying because it was a cartoon?
An animated show, yeah.
No.
But then Michael said, "Well, I watched Disney movies or Disney cartoons and have cried."
Yeah, I mean it's okay to cry. Like I was watching that one Disney movie when Bambi's mom gets shot. I laugh every time. Every time it just cracks me up. You know, animation could really move you.
You know what? Oh, God,
I'm
even
kidding.
remember
I'm
seeing
kidding.
Bambi.
I'm kidding. But Bambi's mom did get shot though.
I don't remember.
I was a bit of a contrarian as a kid. Bambi came out again. Everybody was talking about it.
Uh-huh.
I was like, it was sadder when ET left. That's what I said. That was true though. It was sadder.
Cried like
ET
a little
left.
bitch.
Yeah, I mean Bambi's mom. I mean, you know, she looked like dinner. Patrick Boyle said, "I'm kidding." Yeah, I want to see Batman on. I want to see Batman on IMAX, the first IMAX ever. And damn, it was pretty epic though. Definitely could have had a 2.5 hours. Oh, the length of it. Yeah. It's because Batman it has that, like, you know, solving a crime kind of story to it. You know, solving riddles and the mystery, if you will. Like it keeps me engaged. It's not until the very end when it's like, let's do some action, that I get like, oh, now you're gonna try to pull this out, and then it's kind of like it's kind of flat. So just the more I watch it, that ending, and then it just keeps going, kind of, you know, like oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say to Rob. That's why I brought it up originally. So Rob, at the end of Batman, when they play Something in the Way for the second time, and he starts talking like, you know, my name is Bruce Wayne and I've been doing Batman stuff, so I'm Batman. You know, if that whole talk starts, people, like about a quarter of the audience got up and started walking out because they thought it was the end. and they actually like left right then.
Because people are, I told you, audiences aren't as smart as you think they are. You know, like you know, I feel like the fans that are willing to have 3-hour discussions daily about a franchise are a little bit more informed than the average moviegoer.
Yeah,
this is why the average moviegoer still pulls out their fucking phone every 15 minutes, right? Even though a million commercials tell you not to do it, and they still do it.
Maria Menounos asked me not to, and she's really pretty, so I said, okay, I won't do it.
I never.
The guy next to you. Every
that,
time I go to the movie theaters, Max, I have to deal with this.
I put my fucking phone away.
Yeah, me too.
Unless it's a text that I'm waiting for, I like I'll open it up in my purse.
Yeah,
they got to get their convoy updates or some bullshit.
I mean, you just turn off my fucking phone.
I'm gonna do a protest, but I don't get out of my car and I just honk my horn. Really?
There's a 2.5 hour audio novel you can get on Audible that takes place before this film, right? And I started listening to it. And so in this movie, it's not a spoiler, but like Alfred's the guy who trains Batman.
What?
He's the one who trains him. That's how he learns. So they don't get into it, Max. So don't worry about it. And so, but in the book, he goes, yeah, he taught me Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu. Alfred liked to call it Bruce Jitsu, but I didn't. I think it was funny. I was like, Bruce Jitsu, dude. Bruce Jitsu.
That's stupid.
It's canon.
Yeah.
It's canon.
Yeah. Did you finish it?
I did, but I was asleep, so I have to listen to it while I'm awake.
Okay.
Put it on while I went to bed. I found a acoustic version, the guitar, on YouTube Music, which I play in the background of that Nirvana song. I just put that on a loop. Mm-hmm. And then I put the audio novel on and it started drifting off into Batman land. I'm like, I wonder if I'll dream about being Batman. Just dreamt about deadlines. I don't get any cool dreams, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to the whole thing tonight to know what the hell that thing was about. But I did hear the Bruce Jitsu line. And I'm like, well, there you go.
Catwoman is in Max's house.
No, it's the mail lady.
Oh, that was the Mel getting shot in? Wait, was it an owl? Are you going to Hogwarts?
Yes.
You just get invited to Hogwarts.
Yes.
Max is like, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Del. Yeah. Please like the video, you savages. I appreciate that.
And comment.
You savages.
Yeah, and you know, tickle the little bell there too, so you know when we go live, or otherwise you won't know, and it won't ever tell you because it's a jerk. Yeah, flick the bean. You need flick the Liberty Bell, because if you believe in liberty if you believe in America, click the bell, you know. But yeah. But you know, we've had I think to go back to Kenobi. I think that it sounds like this series is opening up Star Wars a little bit more as opposed to closing it down. I feel like it's exploring things that we wanted to see explored, and it's making scenarios happen that we didn't dream of when we first heard it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when back when they said it's going to be a movie or something that was never officially announced. Was it official? It was officially announced, but
the movie,
yeah.
When they did that celebration, they said it was going to be a movie. It was a whole
and then
celebration is one of those fucking things.
Or might have just been, was it just in the trades?
I thought it was just in the trades.
It's just in the trades, I think. And then we finally had it officially announced with Ewan McGregor about the series with Kathleen Kennedy at was it like D23 maybe?
Right, but before that, it wasn't.
Yeah, before that it was just rumored. So anyways, but yeah, it was going to be a film. That's a fact. And then it got shut down and was turned into this series, and it sounds like it was for the best. And the one thing that I kind of hope that we like leave the series with is the idea that like this needed to exist, that this made like Star Wars better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely, so far it's good. It sounds like it's in the Rogue One territory. You know how like what Rogue One did for the Death Star? I feel like this is doing that for the Skywalker story. It's doing that for A New Hope. So in a weird way, we're going to be able to, I think, watch.
Marketing says the Death Star has a poor image. We need to do a whole movie to give it a better image.
Yeah.
It's called the Death Star.
Yeah.
I don't know. Blows stuff up. I know, but what can we do to make it better? Whole movie, I guess. Like,
yeah. But I mean, but we're gonna be able to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi and Rogue One to have a better A New Hope, or to have an enhanced A New Hope experience. Mm-hmm. And that's what I find kind of fascinating. But so far they've only gone towards A New Hope. I'm curious if we might see these things go to another film eventually.
On the way to Empire Strikes Back, or
will they, and it's a little bit harder though, because everybody knows the Death Star. It's iconic. You just see it, you know what it is, you know what happens. And it's like with Echo Base, I would love a story that ends up leading to like Echo Base. Like that would be awesome.
The stories are endless.
But at the same time though, that's not going to connect on a big way. People don't really know what Echo Base is. They're like the snow planet. Mm-hmm. They don't have that kind of thing with the Death Star and with the Skywalkers, that for A New Hope. So, but I would love
Star Killer Base, that's for certain.
Right? Yeah. It's the darkest before the dawn. Sorry. Mark Hamill.
Back at Echo Base, we didn't have janitors. We just made holes in the trenches and we all just peed in them.
Yeah, imagine that place is mostly full of, it's like a real sausage fest there too. There's probably just like yellow snow all over the place. Just dudes just pissing all over the place, right?
That would be the fun fan edit we could do for an Empire. Just go there and just roto some yellow snow all over the place.
Somebody wrote Chewbacca. Who would have done that, Chewbacca?
Someone Yuzum. What the hell's a Yuzum?
I'm going to throw it out there that Wookiee piss probably smells up a whole house at least. It's gotta be terrible. It's got to be like 20 cat boxes at once.
With
Mark
some
Hamill,
asparagus tea.
Yes. Yeah. Kashyyyk asparagus. Oh, it'll do it to you. Mark Hamilton says, my first Disney crying experience was Herbie getting tossed off the boat. Then he drowned into the ocean. I bawled my eyes out into the theater. Herbie the Love Bug? Is that what happened?
I remember that, but I saw that shit on VHS.
I don't remember that.
I do.
Yeah. Man, I remember getting the my parents got cable and we got the Disney Channel. And the Disney Channel was like free for like a certain amount of time because we were new to cable.
Yeah.
And I watched the Nutty Professor and the Ewok Adventure in the same day. It's a pretty good day. I had a pretty good day, I thought. I was like, Ewok Adventures back. Haven't seen that shit in years.
The Nutty Professor. Oh god.
Yeah, it was good. They should make that. They should remake that, but make it good, not corny. Not. I mean, it should be corny, but it shouldn't be Eddie Murphy. Like, I love Eddie Murphy, but it's just not the right thing, you know. Haunted Mansion either.
Oh wait, the Nutty Professor from Disney, right?
The original Nutty Professor
with
Flubber and all. And was that Flubber? The one where he creates Flubber and he flies in the car? No, that was the absent-minded professor.
Oh.
The absent-minded professor. Johannes says, "Did you see the new Celebration poster they put out?" Yeah, I did see it. My old buddy sent it to me, and I looked at it. Let me look at it again. I was on Star Wars Santa show when he sent it to me, and I didn't notice if there was anything like really fascinating in there. Let me see. So that's it right there. You know, I'm like okay, you know, it's all right. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything, you know. It's pretty predictable. I shouldn't say that. It's good art. I think it's fun art.
Is that just the Mando in it?
Yeah, it's like the Mando and Grogu, and you can see Ahsoka. Here, I'll put it up on the screen one sec. I won't be dumb. I'm being dumb. Like sitting here looking at it myself, critiquing it. I should be showing you guys. Let me put it up. So get to my computer now. But you know, it's, you know, I bet you they were being withholding from the artist, like they are, because it, you know, I mean, it's Kenobi time. Where's Kenobi? You know, that's what I'm saying. If it's Kenobi time, I want Kenobi. I don't want to see. I want to see some stuff I already seen like all the time. You know, so that's the Celebration poster. And remember, guys, you could still get COVID. It might not be if you're going. Be careful. But yeah, it's like we have Darth Vader, Star Destroyers. You know, I think it's. I guess this is Kenobi right here.
But in front of him, yeah, hooded.
That's probably Kenobi. Yeah.
Like right in front of him. See him?
Yeah, and then Maul. And then Mando and Ahsoka. And the same Luke Skywalker cutout we usually get. There's R2 and BB-8 and some ATSTs. Slave 1. I mean Boba Fett starship. The Death Star 2. And so, you know. Yeah, it's I like it, you know. But I would rather and I guess you could say that the Darth Vader in it is Kenobi based as well if you want to. But I would rather it be a little more apparent, because Kenobi's buried in that thing. I just see Maul. The Maul silhouette shines through that Jedi cloak shape for me. So
I agree.
Mark Hamilton says Chewie pissed. Leia is a racist in yellow snow on Echo Base. Yeah, Chewbacca got Princess Leia canceled. She's the one who went out there and said that she was Darth Vader's daughter. That was Chewbacca. People don't know that.
Fuck you.
I mean, she came between him and his best friend. What do you expect? You know, what do you think's going to happen? But yeah. So Rob, are we going to get this tattooed? Are we going to get matching Star Wars Celebration poster tattoos?
I'm not a minimalist.
Yeah.
Fan of minimalist art. Like I get it for like certain UX experiences. Like if I have a game that has a ton of shit on there, unless I don't. I mean, then again, sometimes I don't want Street Fighter with minimalist design. Like I want Street Fighter with crazy fucking cool shit. And like when it comes to Star Wars, like I look at that and I'm like, I don't know what that says to me. I don't know if that's a celebration or it's just a bunch of crazy threshold traced vector things done because it could get done in a weekend. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. You know, like it's not like minimalist design is new to our generation. It kind of comes out of the Saul Bass, you know, stuff. It's fun for like intros to movies, but I just like in Star Wars to pulp images and stuff. So like the Ollie Moss thing it's not my jam. So good artist, it's not my thing.
Look at how little Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber is too. It's like he has a little tiny baby one. Like does he have Grogu's lightsaber? Does he have Yoda's lightsaber in his hand right there? Yeah.
Mhm.
I would I would rather this was very, very Kenobi based.
If that idea had been rendered by like in a Bill Peak style, poster, or Bob Peak or Bill Sienkiewicz style rendering, you know what I mean, with like textures and watercolor or something like that, I could be like, man, that's amazing. But I'm like, what am I supposed to? Right now, some poor sap is being forced to shove that on a shirt really fast, and I feel sorry for him. Like, I've been there.
To be honest with you, I think it probably makes a better shirt than a poster. Looking at the dimensions of this one, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, it does. Unfortunately, you wouldn't know what it is. Like I do. Again, you got to do the squint thing, and other than Vader's helmet, you don't go, "That's Star Wars." Like, and I know you do it because you guys are all looking it up close. But I keep this stuff at a distance here, and like I can tell you right now, there's all sorts of weird tangents, and I'm not a big guy on tangents. Like I'm not a guy who's like, "The tangent's doing this is not right," but it's just there's a lot of things there, man, that I'm like, well, must be nice to have that art director. Get away with whatever you want.
Mark Hamilton says Leia, an Imperial diplomat. Could someone get this walking carpet out of my way? Sounds like a mega carrot.
Whoa.
It kind of does when you put it that way.
Dude.
And everything about it, yeah. I mean, and C-3PO too. When he's talking about Jawas, he's like, those disgusting creatures. Hey man, those are people. Luke's calling the Tusken Raiders sand people. They all got.
To be fair, 3PO spent some time on Alderaan, and you know what I mean. They're a little.
Wouldn't that be-
they're
would
a
that
little
be
bit of
cool?
1%.
Would that be a cool story to see? Like if we had a story, just side story, Alderaan is the background planet. We fall in love with these characters, and then we see the Death Star like blow it up, and like see the chaos like live, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. It could be.
Because
I mean, well, here's a good question. I think that you just made me ask myself.
okay,
Are R2 and 3PO in the Kenobi series, and if they're not, then we have this big implication that they are on adventures with Captain Antilles. Would Captain Antilles be the avenue of a series that could have the droids in it, and they could have all kinds of space adventures that could interconnect with people like Bail Organa, as well as Cassian Andor and Rebels in general?
mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a droid's tale or whatever it's called, droid story.
That'd be cool.
Because I mean, I haven't heard anything about R2 and 3PO in the Kenobi series yet. Doesn't mean it's not happening or it hasn't happened.
Right.
But like I just always assumed 3PO was like with Leia.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think so. Doesn't appear to be the case. So
I guess not.
Yeah, because it would have been cool if when you hear about Leia being taken or something like that, you have 3PO bashed up, his arms off or something again.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't heard anything about that or Anthony Daniels being involved in that. So, but we did see him doing mocap recently for a droid story.
Right.
So he will be back, but who knows? Who knows?
Everybody knows.
Because like I love R2 and 3PO, and I want them in most things. To be honest with you, I would not mind it, but I feel like they don't know what to do with them. Like maybe like the current generation doesn't want to do the Laurel and Hardy legwork to really study what those characters were doing and why it worked and stuff like that.
You know who they should be treated more like, I think, if they could get it, would be something kind of like, the two dudes in Shaolin Soccer. Like, I mean, I get you. They don't understand. They need someone with some dry British humor to write them.
Yeah.
Like they really need to bring someone on board who really gets that dry British humor shit.
Yeah.
So, because there's a little too like, oh, I'm 3PO, I'm worried. That's not really, he's more of like a coward. He's not like I'm worried. He's more like a you die, not me. Like, why would you put me in danger? I could die, not R2 could die, or we could die. Yeah, it's like it's a little selfish. Like there's more there. Just they don't seem to get it.
Dale says Star Wars Celebration exclusive merchandise early access will begin March 11th at 9 a.m.
Oh, I can't fucking wait. Oh, I'll be up all fucking night for that one.
If there's Kenobi stuff, they may need a trailer for that.
Gee, Celebration, dude. I like the idea of the event, like a Comic-Con for Star Wars. Mm-hmm. The problem is before COVID, then they would go to Comic-Con and do the real other than that the Force Awakens thing, which was pretty amazing, right? That celebration. I've never seen a celebration where I was like, totally worth all that effort. Maybe the very first one, like you went to in like Ohio or something, where you could go and meet a bunch of Denver, where you could go meet a bunch of people, and there's only going to be like 5,000 folks there, like maybe 1,000 folks.
All skaters and indie kids. Way cooler than by Celebration 2. It was like, all these Star Trek nerds are here, huh? It totally changed.
2015 was so much fun for me.
That was a good time.
It was a lot of fun, but then,
So Celebration 1 is Empire Records, and Celebration 2 is Can't Hardly Wait. And now we're just going downhill from there. Just it's a trajectory. It's not good.
But the attendance is like it's getting bigger and bigger, especially after 2015.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like to be in a room full of the same people that had the same interests as you, and one thing for sure you're going to talk about is Star Wars. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So I
remember the first time I walked into Comic-Con, like I was 12, turning 13. I was younger, right? Even though it was 1992. Yeah. So I remember walking in there, and for the first time I was like, I think I get these people. Like these people might get me, like in a way. So I get that. It's just to buy merchandise for an event. Like it's so weird. It's so weird to get like a Comic-Con poster and not go. You're just getting it to collect the celebration at Comic-Con. Like that's odd to me. I might be the minority on that one though. Like most likely. So.
Well, I'm with you. No, I don't really buy things anymore.
I was gonna try to go to the merchandise section, but oh my god, like you could not get in.
Oh really? Wait, before or today or for this next thing?
No, 2015.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then and the subsequent, like the following ones, every time I went, when I would try to go to the merchandise booth, it was just so packed, and you basically have to waste your day.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to see just to go. I was like, that's not worth it for me.
And how much of that stuff actually retains any kind of value? I mean, you could literally pick most of it up later on after, and after some time easily. And yeah, it's not worth sacrificing your time. So I don't know how it's working this time, but if they, tickets are going back on sale. A limited quantity of tickets are going on sale March 15th at 9:00 a.m. So if you want to go to Celebration,
Dale, tell us about it. Dale's going. So
Dale's going. Yeah, I would love to go, but I don't think I could go and not bring my kids. And I don't know. I know COVID is looking good. It's looking better than it has, but who knows? Like what is, what I mean? Where it's going to be. I don't think it's worth risking getting long COVID to, see, Ewan McGregor say like Obi-Wan's going to be the best show. It's going to be so good. Because I know he's going to say that, and I believe him, but I don't need to go see him.
Comes out on stage, exceeds expectations.
Oh no,
motherfucker!
Over delivers.
Over delivers.
Yeah.
All filler, no killer. All killer, no filler. Sorry.
Yeah.
House of the Mouse. All killer, no filler.
Ewan asks, sorry if I missed this being brought up earlier, but do you think the two Padawans in the opening scenes are Rava and Ari? So in the opening, excuse me, I'm all congested right now. It's this coffee. I think I'm allergic to it. Basically, we weighed out what are the two models of the potential, of it being Nari and Reva, or just two other people, and I do lean towards it being them. Excuse me, I have to cough.
Yeah, if it's two other people, it may as well be the scene for Mando. I just want to be clear on that. Like, it may as well just be those cats, so we're seeing that scene. Otherwise, it should be these characters were actually... Because what is the point of the death? I get the death of this character in Obi-Wan's eyes, but for us, like, I just feel like, well, if we see them escape and then you see them dead, only to accomplish their mission and then die because it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Like, even you would feel like, man, you got to do something. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense, but for all I know, it's fucking Yaddle. Like,
no, I'm not bad talking you. I'm not. I'm like, if anybody who goes to Celebration and takes care of themselves, really takes precautions and stuff like that, I'm like, hey, at some point, the world does have to start opening back up, and it does look like it's going to be that time more than it has ever been before, that we are near the end. I'm just of the opinion that I think we're starting a little too early, and across the board, and in doing so, some people may needlessly die who would have made it out of this completely if we just been gone a little longer.
I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I could wait another 2 years or a year, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it'll be.
Bob Paycheck can't.
Yeah, there were rumors that there might be another one in Europe or Japan next time. Yeah,
would love it.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna
I want to start the Making Star Wars .theory cast, right? Where we just make up bullshit. I'll be like, hey, Celebration 2023 is exclusively to Galactic Starship. Get your tickets now. You're going to get the exclusive, right? Go around the galaxy. You'll be able to,
All right. So here's what you have to do. You have to go find the captain. When you find the captain, if you lick her cheek, it takes off the blue paint, and then it reveals the date of the next Star Wars Celebration.
Wow.
Star Wars
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Star Wars 7x7 did like his little 8-minute podcast on someone's breakdown of all that, and it really was like this. You had to talk to people to role play to get this info about something. Oh my God, bless these actors doing this shit, because there's a fucking job. I mean, like, but I just can't imagine paying $6,000 for that. Like, I just can't.
No, I go to Galaxy's Edge, and I'm just like, I'm not there to role play. I'm not. And I'm not interested in doing that with them. You know what I mean? In that context, they love it. The people working that job, I am convinced they fucking love it. They're either the best actors in the whole world, or they fucking love it. And when you don't,
well, this is why Drama Club used to drive us nuts, right? Because they were always doing drama. You're like, look, I get the making of it, but I can't be. It's like the actor who has to show up in character the whole fucking time. You're like, this guy.
Lambhead, I got a bad feeling about this. So dumb.
All I ever hear is that Lambert song, the Sheepish Lion, every time you do it.
Oh, you wrote that. Now the show's delisted, probably.
What?
There, he wrote one of the fake miracle cures.
Oh,
I'm joking. Ewan says the set photo that people say has Tamara, the back of his hat says TK42128, which belongs to the 501st member Ardashir Radpour. He played Kaba Baez in the Klatooinian bounty hunter in Book of Boba Fett. Okay.
Damn.
Good detective.
Is that
work.
Ewan? Ewan's just bragging, I totally didn't mean to type that and put that out there.
Yeah, so that may be.
Damn.
That may be
inside shit.
mystery solved. I'm going to screen cap the show and then I'll add that to the story because I think you might be onto something.
Good find, you, and like I'm not making fun of you. Like that's some legit knowledge.
That's someone who has her eyes peeled.
Yeah. So more more than likely, it's not the case. I what I found interesting about it was that actor, that person who we thought was Tamara Morrison is the same height as Tamara Morrison. Because Indira Varma is 5'7", he's 5'7", they're like the same height. And I was like, at least it looks like that way in the photo. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty interesting combination of things to come together. But yeah, I never heard anything about Tamara Morrison being in the Kenobi series. That made me go, yeah, for sure. But also, you couldn't discount it, right?
Right.
That's where I was coming at it from. But yeah, well, I think we're gonna call this one a show today. We've gone an hour and a half long, more than
long.
Some would say 2 hours and 20 minutes too long, but you can just watch the beginning of the show.
But when you're on a roll and it's laughing, there's lots of laughing, and
yeah, it's a good time.
I'm not laughing. Your jokes are funny. Just give me the info and get the fuck off of YouTube.
I don't want to hear about Lambhead. I don't want Lambhead.
Okay, here's the info and we'll go off YouTube. Yeah. Just leave you be.
I know. I am like,
Sorry.
You can just read the site, get the news. But anyways, Lambhead
squinty-eyed Popeye motherfucker, just give me the info.
Lambhead gets wounded. Boba, quickly get him to the back the tank.
Lambhead should be our mascot. I'm just letting you know. We've been thinking about a mascot. Lambhead, that's our thing. That fits right in with whatever we do here.
Yeah.
Lambhead, it's bad. bad. Yeah, it's bad times.
Has to do one of those weird. Has to be like one of those vintage Star Wars looks where it's like no pants. Like a bodysuit with no pants, like Hammerhead and what's his name?
Walrus.
What was it? Walrus Man. Yeah. Lamb-headed Walrus Man. But thank you to everyone who is a channel member and hung out with us today in the chat and stuff like that, and to everyone who supports the show, everyone who liked the video and subscribes to it and all that jazz, and thank you, Max, for coming again, hanging out with us. And as Rob always likes to remind people, you can also support the show by just letting the whole video play the whole time. Just let it
tell them
going.
At the front of the show, Jason.
I know, but if they're here at the end, they're here at the end. Hey,
thank you. Hey,
if I had my shit together, I'd be successful. But yeah, we'll be
thumbnails
back tomorrow.
Suck.
Those thumbnails are fucking stupid. Thank you, Star Wars Santa. And yeah, I'm on Star Wars Santa show on Monday mornings, so go watch that if you haven't, by the way. And check MakingStarWars.net for more stories. I got some more stuff lined up. And we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is the plan. Talking about Star Wars. And probably Batman and stuff, because we do whatever we want here. And yeah,
do what we want.
We do whatever we want. But
we do what we want to say what we want to say.
All right. So and I would like everybody just to dance now. Please dance.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars